mean,
What up?
trying to figure out. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
What up, people? It is another exciting, I hope, be very exciting episode 55 of Square One. The usual suspects here in the house. Maybe my two boys, Chris Knight, Anzo, Big for Entertainment. What's going on, fellas?
doing
Doing all
good,
right.
doing good. You know what's
I'm trying
funny?
to go ahead.
I made a post like a couple weeks back, and I'm like, if you can't get more than 6 people watching your stream, you should give up YouTube. I did my Walking Dead stream today and had like one person watching. So I'm
You
leaving
know,
YouTube, guys. Have a good one. Take care.
uh, what I'm trying to figure out is how Shifty can do these great intros and have such fucked up opinions about stuff.
Talent and being smart about certain things are two different things, right? All right.
Well,
How you doing, Donnie?
I'm doing good, man. Very slow day at work. Was glad I was able to get into this. I don't know what's going on in my man cave, man. It's hot as fire in here. Oh, damn.
Turn on that damn AC, bro.
Hey, I thought it was on, but I might do something because I'm telling you, sweating like a whore in church.
Oh, what?
So I'm sweating like a whore in church. You never heard that
Why?
phrase before?
I was just gonna say, why would a whore be in church sweating?
Hey,
No comment.
she played by the ungodliest thing in the church.
Oh shit! I just
But anyway, got a few good topics here. I think I got 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken. Did it really kind of quick because I was trying to take my two grandsons. They wanted, oh boy, they got me good today, boy. Grandson was like, I want to go to GameStop, Grampy, and I want a Boba Fett, some kind of Boba Fett action figure. But he got money for his birthday last week. I said, okay, I ain't paying no $67 at no GameStop. So if you get the money, I'll take it. So we go in there, don't have it. So I said, okay. So you think we can find it at Walmart? I was like, you think you're trying to do a Jedi mind trick on me, huh? So we go to Walmart and once they go up and down the road, and he sees Boba Fett ship. And he asked me, and I'm like, oh, kids got sense. He was like, why do they cut it Boba Fett ship instead of the Slave One? I said, grandson, that is because we got some crazy people in this world that are offended by simple stuff. And I guess they got more power than what we have, and they just changed the name, son. But it is, you can call it Slave One, and that's what his true name is. So I'm glad you were able to pick up on that. At age 9, he was able to pick up on that.
I'd have bought it for him.
Oh,
Like, there you go, right there.
He got it.
He did, yeah, he got it. Yeah, absolutely.
Another grandson, he wanted something else to do with some other kind of crazy game, Robo Blocks, Robo some shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
Roblox or something. So yeah, so both of them were happy.
Good.
So,
That's what it's
but
about. It's about keeping the kids happy, right? And
yeah,
it's about and it's not about us. It's about the adults, right?
yeah. I'm glad I heard got out of Walmart, so I was happy with that. They said, "Yep, okay, thank you. Boom, let's go." Walmart boy, you bust $100 at Walmart.
Easy.
Time as you walk in there,
Yeah, easy.
I'm like, what?
You didn't get nothing for yourself, Danny? No Franco Pops, nothing?
Nah, I got a T-shirt.
Funko Pops? You got a T-shirt? Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was something. Danny ain't going there without getting nothing for himself,
I
right?
got I forgot what kind of T-shirt it was, but I added it to my collection. It's another one, something. Venom, a Venom T-shirt. That's what it was.
Nice.
Nice.
First topic. Tomorrow, one of the premier games will be Dallas Cowboys, but them boys is Dakless. In case you didn't know, star quarterback Dak Prescott with the Dallas Cowboys injured himself. The word is he should be out 4 to 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. How he recuperates, how his treatment goes, how his rehab goes, we don't know. Dak seems to be a warrior. Now, even though I hate Dallas Cowboys, I'm somewhat of a fan of Dak, man, because he's taking care of his family. His mother died here a couple years ago. He's taking care of his brothers. He seemed to be a cool brother, trying to do the right thing. but he's got a lot of pressure, man. Because that is whether we want to believe it or not, whether we like it or not, Dallas Cowboys the most popular team in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think they get a chance tomorrow against the Bengals, or do you think they can pull it out? I'm not sure who their backup quarterback is. I didn't do enough research. I know last year it was the former quarterback for the Bengals, the redhead guy. I can't think of his name now. It'll lose me, but I'm not sure
Um,
who the backup quarterback
it's
is now.
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush is the backup. Okay,
I think so. Yeah.
so what do you think? Do you think they got a chance, or do you think, oh boy, from Bengals, man? I'll tell you, I wish I'd have got him as my quarterback because I got an ass cutting last week with my two
Well,
quarterbacks.
yeah, mine didn't do
Yes,
so well either.
in
And it's
fantasy league.
funny because you have this topic because on the OOC, Roberto was talking about picking up somebody, right? From in the fantasy league. And I heard it, but I wasn't really paying attention. So I went back the other day and I went to go look, and sure enough, this motherfucker picked up Dak. And I was like, fuck. And then I seen it was on the IR, and I was like, I forgot about the fucking IR. I could have put Dak on the IR and still picked up a player. But now Roberto has him. Like, this guy is always picking up my fucking.
Yeah, I dropped Amari Cooper. He picked him up. So
Oh, he picked up Amari Cooper too?
you can have him.
You know? But yeah, I didn't watch the Cowboys game, so I don't know what their offense looks like. I don't know what their defense looks like, but Dak is pretty much, who they depend on when it comes to making it somewhere. And another season, he's injured, right? It seems like he can't get a break. He's always getting injured. And I don't think the Cowboys make the playoffs with him injured.
I agree, man. Last two Dallas Cowboys, man, have been injury prone. Tony Romo now
Mm-hmm.
look like Dak Prescott is going down that same road. So I don't know, man. It seems to be like they got quarterback blues over there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mr.
Well,
Knight?
I think that they, again, this is kind of like Ezekiel Elliott. It's like, okay, we paid the guy now, boom. It's like, and I mean,
Oh
we
shit,
kind of
that's
talked
right.
about,
Dak just got a contract too,
yeah,
right?
we talked about this when he got hurt really bad a couple seasons ago. We talked about, man, do you give him a contract this year? Or do you give him a 1 year and say, listen, give us a year. We'll do this year by year for a couple of years, see how you do. They could right now fundamentally go and talk to like the 49ers and say, what do you want for Garoppolo or somebody like that? There are some options out there. Now, not for this game. This game, man, I don't know. I think their offense is, if everybody pulls their weight, I think their offense is really good. I think they could win. But when Dak isn't in there, it just doesn't seem like there's any life to it. I mean, I've never seen that team perform well without their quarterback, be it, Aikman or anybody. Whenever their main star quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys is out, their offense just shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they win this game. And I mean, I don't necessarily, looking at the way that Cincinnati played and LA played, I'm not really sure that, Cincinnati's all that hot of a team. We'll see, but I don't think this will be the test for them because if Dak isn't in there, I don't think you're going to get much from the offense of Dallas. Now, if Cooper Rush goes in there and the team rallies behind him and he can throw some good, passes, they could win this game. They've got the offensive talent to win. I just don't think they're going to.
Well, I think they're playing in Dallas, so that's going to help. But I just don't think that Burrows is going to have two bad games. I think he's a little pissed off. He lost that first game to Pittsburgh last week, so I think Burrows is going to come back with a little chip on his shoulder. And
Did he really have a bad? Well, yeah. I mean, yes. I think he had a bad game, but he played good too, right? I think he had like what, five interceptions or three interceptions or something like that. And I think maybe two of them
that's
weren't.
not good.
No. But I think two of them or two or three of them weren't his fault though. right? It was his receiver missing the ball or was
Yeah, but
batted down.
we've had
So
this conversation before. When that happens, is it the receiver? Is it the quarterback? What is it? I mean,
well, it's not always the
It may not
quarterback when
always
it's
be
an
the quarterback's fault, but it goes on the quarterback stats.
it does. I mean, I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, I think everybody is touting Burrows as that like top 5 right now in the NFL. I think he's top 15, maybe. And I think he overperformed last year. And much like how people came after the Kansas City Chiefs in year 2 or 3 or whatever it was, I think they're going to figure out some of that stuff this year, and that frustrates a quarterback, and he's going to over try. We'll see. I don't know, but I mean, I think in this game, in this instance, I mean, I'm not looking for it to be a barn burner. I might go 21-7 or 21-10, Cincinnati, maybe less, maybe 17-10.
I may catch it. It depends on like how I'm feeling and what my whether I get a lot of cases tomorrow or any cases. Um, even though I hate Dallas, I find myself being drawn to their games. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. 'Cause I
Because
want to
they're
see them
always on
lose.
TV.
No, because I want to see them lose mainly. But I think tomorrow I don't think they're gonna win. Even if they are playing in Jerry World. Dak, like you said to me, is the gasoline that powers that car. And without him there, I don't know if the backup can do it. And I think I just don't. I have faith in what I've seen from Burrows, and I think tomorrow he's gonna bring a better game than what he did last week. But time will tell. Time will tell. Okay, next topic. Whoo, this is a burner here. Brett Favre, the Golden Butt. He's in hot water now because apparently
Hmm.
he's been linked to stealing money, embezzling money, tapping into money of the welfare in Mississippi to build certain, I think, some kind of uh, something his daughter was playing. I think volleyball stadium, volleyball court, or something. Anyway, he was tapped into, linked to doing that. There's also text messages where he's asking someone, "Can the media find out about this? Will anybody find out about this?" So Shannon Sharp went on pretty hard yesterday, and also Stephen A. I watched both their clips, and they were like, "This has been a black quarterback or a black NFL player that they feel like." Well, Shannon didn't say that. Stephen A. said that, and that he's kind of getting a pass because he's so called one of the golden boys of the NFL, but they are totally upset and enraged that he is tapping into. Well, they said Mississippi. I didn't know. I got to check. I'm research this, but they say it's the poorest state in America, and that he has been tapping money knowingly from the welfare community for his own means. So he got an answer to somebody. I'm not sure who he's going to answer to or what he's going to answer to, but that is what's being alleged to have happened, and he's all in the storm. So, what do you think? Do you think this is possibly a case of white privilege since it took so long to get called, or do you think this is just the normal pace of justice? Whoever wants to talk.
Shoots. Okay, explain to me what happened again. I'm sorry, I was ordering food.
Apparently, Brett Favre has been alleged to have been taking money from the Mississippi welfare community,
Oh,
people
right, yeah,
on
yeah.
welfare.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephen A. said on last week on his show that some people don't want to talk about it, they're trying to cover it up and trying to gloss over it, but he's not going to do it. And that he wants to know what the people, the media, and the people that has relationships with Brett Favre, what are they going to do? Are they just going to glass this over, or are they going to put his feet on the carpet? And he further went on to say that if this had been a black athlete, that this would have been in the media much more, would have been much more televised and much more covered and stuff. It seems like Brett Favre was getting a pass. Now Shannon Sharp went on to say that he compared it to T.O. He said T.O. did none of this crazy stuff off the field. But
Mm-hmm.
had he done that, They were trying to discrucify him for stuff he did on the supposedly in the locker room and not on the field. He did nothing wrong on the field ever. All his antics was in the locker room or interviews, and they tried to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. Now Brett Favre just strolled right in for Hall of Fame, and according to Shannon Sharp, Brett Favre had a lot more dirt that people kind of glossed over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, is this in your opinion, another form or another example of white privilege? Does Brett Favre get a pass because he is so called one of the great ones in the NFL, or is this the normal way that justice should proceed? Whatever your thoughts is on it.
Yeah, Donnie, you're trying to get me canceled. You already know it's a case of fucking white privilege. You already know that when it comes to them, they get passes that we don't get, right? Now, supposedly, from what I remember hearing, and I think I watched a show about it, and it was something he was doing, or it was supposed to be something like an original fund, but he knew that the funds was coming out of the welfare. He knew it, and
Him
he
and the
still.
governor were boys. The governor of Mississippi and him were boys. It's something that they kind of did together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
Shannon
So
said that. Shannon
yeah,
said the
go.
text messages said, "Is this
Here's the
something that the
text
media
messages.
can find about it?
This
If it
is
is,
how they. I'm
go ahead.
sorry. I was going to read what they said.
Go
They
ahead.
were the one in 2007 to from Favre to New, who has already pled guilty to a bunch of different stuff. She was the one tasked with moving welfare money or extra money from the stimulus stuff around the state. He asked her, if you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? And she
Exactly.
said, we never have that information publicized. And then the next day she texted him and said, wow, just got off the phone with Phil Bryant, who's the governor. He's on board with us. We'll get this done. And then in another text sent in July 19, Bryant, the governor, told New he had just finished meeting with Favre and asked her if they could help him with his project. There's nothing here that actually says that he may have known or not known, but it's really difficult if it sounds like this is a bunch of backroom dealing going on. So,
My question is, why would you even ask that if you didn't have some kind of feeling that this may not be on the up and up?
Well,
absolutely.
I don't disagree.
My understanding is that over his career, Brett Favre has made over $100 million in the
Mm-hmm.
NFL. What Shannon
Mm-hmm.
said. Not to mention these Wrangler commercials I see him on all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and some
And
other
it's
kind of
not,
endorsement he does, which I'm probably
yeah,
not going to wear Wranglers ever again. Sorry.
it's not the first time he's done something, right? I can't remember. He was in trouble a couple of years back for something he did. He
Shannon said he
gets in
got some
trouble.
kind of addiction, but I don't know what kind it was.
Oh, really? And
Yeah,
he,
if you
he gets
watch,
in trouble for things he says as well. So,
yeah, he seems to have that little edgy. I don't want to say racism, but like a watered down version of Trump in some aspects.
mm-hmm.
Stuff that he says and stuff. So I don't know. I never really been a Brett Favre fan. I don't know. I never. I mean, I follow, watch his games and enjoyed his gunslinging type of football, but to really get into and delve into the stuff he did off the field, I never really paid that much attention. But I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes on this story because I'm pretty sure we can talk about it on future shows. But yeah, right now his ass is in some hot water. So I hope you
Mm-hmm.
get a good attorney.
Facts.
No, I'm sure he does.
All right. Our next topic: Patrick Mahomes. Now I just watched a episode of First Take. Stephen A. was on there along with Ryan Clark and Swagoo, and they talking all that. Only person can stop him winning the MVP this year is him. Now, how they can come to this conclusion after one game, I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm not a football What's the word I want? What's the football word I want to use? I'm not a savant in football. I'm just a average fan. I watch a little bit more than some teams than others. But after one game, they're proclaiming this guy MVP, which his game was fantastic. I have no problem with Patrick Mahomes. I definitely think he could be in the running based on his past stats and past performances. But one game, you're going to proclaim that? So I know
And you
what
know
you're
what?
going to go ahead.
Yeah, you know what, Danny?
You what?
I know what you're
First
going
off,
to say.
No, you don't.
I should have took Mahomes instead of fucking Brady right now. Hopefully, the tides turn and Brady picks it up a little bit more. But
Don't ever bet
I
against
don't.
Brady, bro.
No, absolutely not. But I don't really watch these sports shows like I used to, Danny, because they talk so much fucking shit. Like, you can't call this guy the season MVP after one fucking game. I'm sorry. What if he goes and stinks it up tomorrow? Then they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, he's not the MVP no more."
Well, it's
That's
2 games
dumb.
now.
Oh yeah, because they won last night.
Yeah.
Thursday. All right, they played
Yeah.
Thursday, and he played well as well. But still, 2 games, 1 games. That's not enough. Let's get to the middle of the season before you start calling someone an MVP. At least, you know what I mean.
Right? Mr. Knight?
I totally agree. I love
That he's
Mahomes.
MVP.
No,
Yeah.
no. I totally agree with you guys. You can't do it with the first 2 games under the belt. No, you got to go at least 10 weeks. And in 10 weeks, you can take a pretty good chunk of the season, look at it, see their tendencies, their trends. And that's about the time you start talking about it. Giving it to him now is ridiculous. Listen, Aaron Rodgers had a bad game. I don't think he's going to have, he started off rough last year and then he came out fine. Tom Brady, I think they won, didn't they? Didn't
Yeah,
Tampa
they
Bay
did.
win? Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that first week, some people they got to get in the swing of things. And also the change in literally the starters get less time on field now with this new extra week, less preseason. It's like, so I think until they actually get into the swing of that, not everybody's going to perform as well as they normally do that first week or two. And it's ridiculous to give. I mean, I don't care who it is. I mean, everybody who likes Tom Brady and thinks he's the GOAT, you can't give it to him in 2 weeks. It's not like everybody went out and threw 5 interceptions last week and Mahomes was the only one that had 5 touchdowns. No, there were people who had 3 touchdowns. There were people who had 2. There's people that ran for more than he did, probably had a better, percentage completion percentage and stuff like that. 2 weeks doesn't give you enough information to call MVP for any player, no matter how much you like that player. And so, no, I don't think. I think it's too early. So,
if I had to pick one, I would pick Josh Allen. That's look like a beast.
Yeah, but he's only had 1 game.
I know. I'm just saying, if I had to do it right now, based on what I saw, overall performance, man, I'm kicking myself in the ass.
Maybe. I don't know. Again.
But and to be honest with you, Danny, I would be more like MVP candidate. You know what I mean? I'd say if I was
that would have been a better way to do it. Yes.
In the first week, I say, okay, he played good. He could be an MVP candidate. But to say, no, he's the MVP of the season so far off of 1 game, 2 games, nah.
I think sometimes those commentators got to have something that's
to talk about.
Kind of jarring, and they say they don't, but I just don't believe they don't strategize and to make stuff more debatable and make stuff more.
Yeah.
Man, did he just say that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I watch that guy, Dreamers Pro show all the time. And that's what he says all the time. He's like, sometimes, man, he's like, he doesn't believe or he can't believe the things that come out of some of these guys' mouth. And he's always getting on Nick Wright because Nick Wright is the same guy who always saying that LeBron is better than Jordan. LeBron is better than Jordan. And You know,
And
when you
Nick,
say
I'm almost thinking LeBron is sending Nick Wright like a monthly check because I've never seen
someone
somebody.
kissed.
I mean, he got
Hmm.
his lips locked on
Hmm.
both butt cheeks of LeBron. I'm like, holy
Hmm.
moly!
Hmm. Exactly. And that's what this guy says. And he usually, has a video and breaks down the contradictions of this guy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But he's also done it with Shannon Sharp. He's also done it with Stephen A.
yeah,
and Skip Bayless, right? So there's always things where it's like, you know, sometimes I think these guys just say the things they say, like you said, to get a spark, to get
yeah.
something, you know, like
Nick
they don't
Wright
believe
just turns
what
me
they say.
off.
I don't like him at all
He's
either.
so arrogant, and he think he know. I don't even watch First Things First.
Neither do I.
Unless it's something a particular topic I want to hear them. So,
Hmm.
I like Bouchard, Chris Bouchard. He's one of my favorite
Yeah.
commentators because he seems to break it down to you. He's an intellect. I like the way he talks and stuff. But
Hmm.
Nick Wright, mm, not at all.
Well, that's
Go
one
ahead.
of the things the guy says too on the show. It's like, he says if you want to listen to anybody who talks and like pretty much knows the sport of basketball, he says listen to Brichard.
Yeah, Bouchard knows what you're talking about. I like him.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic. Tyreek Hill. Can he peak on his new team? Now, this past week, he had 9 receptions, I think 98 yards, no TDs, but he looked good. I don't know whether or not, people always say you got to get it into football shape. That being in shape, football shape is different. So I don't know whether or not him and Tua had time to create that chemistry on the off season. But he didn't look bad. To me, it's not Mahomes, but I think that he could do something there. I think he can run the shorter routes, change up his routes on his route tree. He's not going to get that deep pass like he would get from Mahomes, but I think he could work within the numbers and outside the numbers on specific routes. But like I said, I came on the air, I looked up his stats, and like I said, I think he had 8 or 9 receptions and about 98 yards, which is not a bad day for a receiver. Usually like throw a touchdown in there, but that didn't happen. And of course, it go once they went against one of their nemesis. They always seem to have New England's number.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is. It's just I don't know if it's their mind or whatever. But usually, whenever New England plays them, I usually pick Miami. But what do you think, Tyreek? Is he going to thrive in his new place, or is he
Wasn't
regret?
wasn't Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry. No, I was
No,
gonna
I'm
say,
just saying you
wasn't
think.
there a bet with Tyreek? Didn't you and Chris make
No,
a bet,
no,
or
no,
didn't
no,
you
no,
make
no.
a bet?
No, it's
Was it
not
something
that.
with Chris?
It is a final five.
Oh, we got a final five? Okay.
Yeah,
What
that he
was the
will
final
have less than 10. He'll have 10 touchdowns or less than 10 touchdowns.
Okay.
for the whole season?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna win that.
last year, last year he had 10. The problem here is listen. Okay, I'll tell you the football shape he got into. He ran his mouth and was in front of every mic he could find this whole offseason, and he didn't think, let me shut my mouth and go and actually work with my quarterback. Now, with that said, I'm not saying he's not going to have decent numbers this year. I just don't think that they can use him the way that he's best used. He's small. Most corners can cover him in tight reception packages, which is what was getting tough for Kansas City, is getting it to him in places that didn't put the ball in play to the defense. That's why he's good for run and don't stop. And Tua is not the quarterback for that. We'll see. 100 yards, yeah, not a bad start, but no touchdowns. I mean, when you get a guy like that, Miami looked at it as this is going to be our number one or number two receiver. Your number two receiver, your number one receiver should have at least one touchdown a game. And he didn't. I don't think he's going to be. I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to be horrible. I just don't think he's going to be anything other than a guy that gets around 100 yards a game and he's there. He's
Hey,
just going to
Danny.
become. another quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Another
Chris
receiver.
Knight does Chris Knight sound like me when I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard right now?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I talk about Kawhi Leonard, fuck that guy. Yeah, that sounds like Chris right now. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just saying I don't think.
Let
Listen,
Tyreek
the
next year.
reason
Let
why he
Tyreek
got
go
the
back.
numbers, the reason he got the numbers he got was because he had Mahomes. He does not have Mahomes now. We'll see, but I think he's just basically become another wide receiver in the NFL because he stepped down from the guy that helped make him Tyreek Hill. He has speed. Yes, he's very talented, but if the quarterback can't get you the ball in those situations, and like I said, 98 yards, great, fine. But that's what he's turned into now. He's going to be 100 yards a game, not guaranteed for a touchdown. So he went from being traded and talked about like he was a number 1 or 2 receiver. And in the first game, he's more like a 3. So, I mean, could he? Sure, he can, but I don't think, again, I don't think the combination's there. If you gave Tyreek Hill to like Tom Brady, yeah, I think he'd still be Tyreek Hill. You give him to Allen, yeah, sure, I believe he'd still be like that. Gave him to Dak Prescott, sure. He went to a team that the quarterback is not what makes Tyreek Hill Tyreek Hill. He will be a serviceable wide receiver that will get yardage, but unless they can get that ball in that home run punch, which is part of the reason why Kansas City let him go, is they realized they can't rely on that because people were starting to figure it out. If you keep Tyreek Hill in tight reception packages, several things happen. It makes the ball easier to play. It makes it so he runs around really erratically in short packages, which can be really bad to get it in timing. And then you put him in a very bad situation to get hurt. So you took away the one thing that made Tyreek Hill, which to me means he's going to get some numbers, but I just don't think he's going to have the numbers that everybody seems to think he's going to have. And that is a personal opinion. Could I be wrong? Sure, because he has the talent. I just don't think he has the talent alone. He has to have that quarterback that can do it for him. And Tua's not that quarterback.
So you don't think Tua? Well, I don't think Miami has enough weapons, but you don't think Tua and him could have that chemistry where, even though he's not that quarterback, Tyreek Hill makes him a better quarterback?
No.
I think he's going to get more than 10 because he's the number one option now. You're going to have more targets.
Number one options don't get 100 yards with 9 receptions and 0 touchdowns.
Let me finish. That's only the first game of the season. It's only the first game of the season. All the commentators are saying, which I agree, is that sometimes there's ring rust when these players don't play in the preseason. You just said it yourself that they're one game less because they're not playing in the preseason. They haven't got that timing and chemistry. I think the reason why I think he's going to get more is because he's number one target. He's going to get more targets because when he's at Kansas City, he had to share with Travis Kelce. Now he's going to be the number one to go to. And as soon as Tua figures it out, like I said, I agree with you 1,000%. The long pass ain't going to happen. But if he can stay within the numbers, 10 to 15-yard passes, I think Tua can do it. But like you say, time will tell.
Mm-hmm. And to answer this question, it's Tom Brady. If I had money and I had to put it on someone to win the Super Bowl, it would be Tom freaking Brady.
I don't know, man. I think LA can go back again and do it.
Right now,
I was watching that coach, man. That coach scares me, man.
I would like to say yes, but Buffalo smoked them, bro. Like Buffalo, manhandled them. And if that's how they're gonna,
like I said,
yeah,
all teams that win a Super Bowl usually don't bounce back. They got what they call that Super Bowl drunk.
The hangover. Yeah.
Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
Like I said, 2. Chris just said it. There's one less game of preseason. So their timing and their football in shape hasn't come yet. So I want to see 3 or 4 more games to see that. But that coach, man, I like the way he coaches. I like the relationship he has. It was something I was watching about him, man. And everybody says, man, when he's focused in and locks in on something, There's nobody better. So I'm thinking,
Mhm.
and I tell you, man, I get him on my fantasy league, man. The doggone receiver for him. God, I can't think of his name now.
Um,
Who?
The receiver for the Rams. God, what's his name? White guy.
Cup.
Cup.
Cup. Cooper Cup.
Hmm.
The boy stay healthy. He's dangerous, bro. He is dangerous.
Yeah, but Cooper.
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I want to see something here. I want to see. He is. He's 6'2", 208 pounds. Uh, and Tyreek is 5'10" and 191.
Mhm.
The problem is Tyreek in the way that they're playing him right now. Uh, I guess the best way to put it is, it's like Christian McCaffrey. Is McCaffrey good? Yes. What is the problem? They use him so horribly because he is the option. McCaffrey on a better team, oh my God, the guy would be crazy good. The problem is they're always throwing it to him. They're running him on packages that guarantees he's going to get hit almost immediately last time. And it's almost building up, waiting for the injury. Anytime Tyreek Hill has had more passes within 20-yard periods, that's when he gets hurt. And that's what they're doing with him. That is the exact combination for disaster with Tyreek Hill and Miami. Not to mention the fact that I think over the past like 3 seasons that Miami, the wide receivers have maybe had a total of like 14 a season amongst 3, 4, 5. That's all they've had. And one game's down already, and he hasn't had one yet. That I just don't think. I mean, I think right now they're running his over under on touchdowns this year at the beginning of the season was 9, if I remember right. Last year for Kansas City, he had 10. And that is because they started to figure out Tyreek Hill. And Kansas City came up to a point. Tyreek Hill wanted more money, and they wanted him on the team. But they're like, listen, if you're going to be a part of this team, we're trying to win another championship. We can't pay you what you want. So if you want to be on our team, work with us, and we'll keep you. They didn't. He didn't. And they said, fine. And they let go because they knew they couldn't do it and rely on him. And now here you have Miami with nowhere near as good a quarterback, nowhere near as good of a coach, a scheme, a first-year coach at that. There are so many things going up against this team for him to have a good season. Now, Willie, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I still stand by. I believe it's going to be 10 or 10 or less. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look and see what the final 5 was. But I think it was, will he get more than 10?
Okay. I just think that he already got his ring, and some people in the player, and we like to think that people in the sports want as many championships as they can get. So sometimes some players just want one. He got one in Kansas City. Now he wants the money. So I don't fault him if you don't want to take the hometown discount. Like, see, in the case of Tom Brady, he wanted the championships. That's why he took the hometown discount. I'm just making a blanket statement.
Yeah.
So I don't fault any player. Hey, I got my one championship. I'm a champion. I'm in the history books. Now I'm trying to get generational wealth. And it's harder to get that in the NFL than it is in the NBA or other sports. So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. Like I said earlier, I'm still going to stick with my argument. We'll find out in another 16 weeks. I'm thinking because he's him and Waddle, they're carrying the load for his receiver corps. So I think that he's going to be the number one. He's going to be a slot receiver. He seems to know the route tree pretty good. So I think that he's going to be okay. I think he can. I think he'll get more than 10 or right at 10, but we'll see.
And I'll say I respect the way Tyreek Hill did it because at least he went for the At least he went for the championship first before the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, like, when you get to the game, no matter what you want to say, yeah, these people want to get rich. But if you love the game and you're a real part of the game, you don't just want to get rich. You want to be known as, you were maybe on a team as one of the best, maybe not one of the best. Well, most people
Yeah.
want to be one of the best, but you at least want to know that you got to the highest level as a team, right? And he did that. So
But yeah,
after that, he went for the money. I don't
And
know what you
nobody's
realistic,
expect.
gonna.
realistically speaking, if I know I think I'm a top 10 running back receiver, whatever position you want, and I come to the realization, look, my team ain't going there. I'm trying to get the
Hmm.
money, bro. I'm trying to get the
Hmm.
money, and you'd be a fool not to try to get the money. If
Hmm.
you're a top 10 quarterback in the NFL or top 10 whatever position, and you know that your team ain't going nowhere,
Hmm.
and you ain't gonna get traded to nowhere, get the money. That's what I say. Get the money.
Well,
Absolutely.
and Anza brings up a good point. Nobody's in Kansas City is going to say that we won that without him. We wouldn't have. We would not have won the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. He was an integral part of that. He knows it. We know it. Everybody knows it. So he will forever be remembered in Kansas City as part of that team and not leaving. When 20 years from now, nobody's going to care that he left 3 years later. It happens, and that's fine. Nobody's going to look at it like, oh, he went for the money, especially the fact that Kansas City still has a very heavy chance to contend for the Super Bowl every year, which is fine. So if his idea was, I got my one ring, I want to go see what I can get, I want to make my money now, fine. That is perfectly fine. But I think his problem is again, the way he played it was is he said, oh, well, they just wouldn't pay me. Well, no, they said, listen, work with us because we want you here. And that he didn't want to work. So that's fine. If he didn't want to do that, he should just come and say, listen, no, I wanted my money. I didn't want to talk about working it out or anything like that. I love those guys over there, but I wanted my money. Just be honest about it. Nobody's going to fault you for it. You won a championship. Go and do what you want to do. That's fine.
I think that's what he did he?
No, he was sitting there. So when local press would go and talk to him, he would say, "Yeah, I love those guys. I really wanted to stay, but it just didn't work out." And then he went on national radio programs, going like, "Well, you know what? They wouldn't pay me." So I said no, and I went on. And it's like he played both sides of that coin, which I hate. It's like, just be honest, dude. You got a ring. You're happy with that ring. You want your money now, and we wouldn't do it. That's all you have to say. Nobody on the Chiefs was acting like we were going to pay you what you wanted to pay. They said they weren't. They made it
You,
very clear they could not pay that.
you know what? I agree, and I hear what you're saying, right? I completely understand what you're saying. Um, but I also say, like, maybe he was trying to be diplomatic. One day he's like, "Hey, and then the next day they ask him a question, and it's one of those bad days. And he's like, "Yeah, man, fuck it, they didn't pay me, right?" So
Maybe.
I'm not gonna pretty much judge him for that, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, man, if you're not chasing the championship anymore and you're content with one, which I probably would be content with one, I'd probably want more, but I'm also would be like, well, like Danny, if I know this team ain't going nowhere, then I'm gonna bounce.
Yeah.
Now he was on KC, but KC with Patrick Mahomes is always gonna be in the runnings for a long time, right? But at that point, he cared about money more
But
than
then that's
anything.
where his ego took the place. Like Damon Lillard. I think Damon Lillard is one of the best point guards in the NFL. But he knows good and well Portland ain't going never go nowhere. So what he doing? He getting that max contract. I don't blame him. If I can't get the
Yeah.
ring, I get the money.
Hmm. But you see, I also got a lot of respect for Dame Lillard because even though he knows his team ain't doing so well, he's still staying on Portland. You know what I mean? He's still
Yeah,
there.
because you
He
know if he
wrote it out as
stayed,
long as he could.
he can get that max contract. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
I
blame
know.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. But
yeah.
I think he may end up regretting that one day, right? But again, and I say this all the time, not everybody in the fucking NBA can win a title. You know what I mean? There's
That's
gonna
right.
be superstars that aren't gonna win titles, and those are the ones that never really compromise themselves to go team up on a super team to
Karl
win.
Malone.
Mm-hmm.
Charles
Charles
Barkley,
Barkley.
um,
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
No, Gary Payton won one.
Uh-uh.
Yeah,
Who?
he won one with I think it was when he was with Miami.
I don't think so.
Hold on. I think he did. I think he won one. I'm gonna look at it now.
Look that up. I know he went to the Lakers. I thought him and Karl Malone went to the Lakers to try to win one that year, and they didn't win it.
Yeah, he didn't, but then he went to another team. I think the Heat and won one.
Okay.
But hold on. Let me see for sure. See, they're showing his son. Maybe not. Maybe not. You might be right.
Yeah, I don't think he won one. But anyway, let's go to the next topic. This is Anzo's topic. Mr. Trubisky, is he going to pan out? Pittsburgh Steelers, they won a very
Oh
exciting.
no, he did. Gary
Who was it?
Payton won in 2006 with the Miami Heat.
Okay,
Yeah, I knew it won.
staying corrected. Um, Mike Trubisky went from Chicago to Pittsburgh. I didn't actually watch the game for as the first 3 quarters. Caught the last quarter was like the battle of the punters with a field goal kickers, and man, it was a
Mm-hmm.
pretty exciting game, man. Pittsburgh was able to inch it out. How you think Trubisky going to do overall? Is he a fit? Is he an adequate fit on replacement for Big Ben, or? Cause I think his arm is stronger. I've always heard Mike Trubisky had a strong arm, and it was accurate, but for some reason he just couldn't put it together. So, do you think he's going to fit well here under the tutelage of Mike Tomlin? And where do you
Um,
see the
yeah, go
Pittsburgh
ahead.
Steelers going? Are they going to make the playoffs? You think, or
I
now
think
this
they'll make the
question?
playoffs. Yeah, go ahead.
This is a head question, not a heart question.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna give it a heart. Yeah, I do think they're gonna make the playoffs. The verdict is still out for me after one game. I mean, he played pretty well, and when I was watching the game, they were saying he was doing some things that like Ben Roethlisberger couldn't do. Right?
I'll
So
be right back.
Like
yeah,
drive by a McDonald's without stopping.
shut up.
Man, Trubisky's a bad magician. He drove by the
Wow.
McDonald's.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that was too
Oh, man.
easy. That was way too easy.
So I like the way the game went. I like the way he looked. I'm just, I want to see more. But for me, regardless of how good he does, we still our wide receiving core is really weak, and that's the problem that I have. I think our defense was pretty much on point, but now Watt went out. Don't know when he's coming back, and if he don't come back, that's a big blow to the defense. But all in all, like I said, our wide receivers I just think they need better wide receivers. They have Claypool, who I think is a good long distance threat. I think he's really good at that, but you have no one else to take pressure off of him, and that's the problem. That's one of my biggest problems. What do you think, Chris?
So I mean, I don't disagree. I think he is kind of a Roethlisberger type quarterback. Maybe, well, I mean, younger for sure, but yeah. I mean, you guys, yeah. What do you have left for wide receiver right now? I mean,
Claypool.
yeah, Claypool. I think Claypool can do a lot for you. And with Watt out, I mean, you make a very good point there with Watt out because Watt, unfortunately, man, I mean, wasn't he out when you guys played us a couple seasons ago?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just totally changes how your
play the defense.
How the defense plays. So I mean, Trubisky, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was saying, and he was hitting, he was getting to Burrow. He was
Mhm.
getting to Burrow.
Yeah,
I think he had like 5 sacks in that game.
yeah,
And then when he went out, that's when their defense really
yeah.
started to look
See, and that's
like
why I don't.
really good.
I'm not all in on Burrows because, man, I mean, I'm Watt's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but man, a good player. Like if you think Burrow is that top echelon quarterback, listen, watch people like Allen, watch people like, you know, Tom Brady, Mahomes. There are players out there. They get rushed and they'll get out of the way. Yes, they get sacked occasionally, but they'll figure it out. Burrow was not figuring it out. That first part of that game,
Mhm.
Burrow had no answers. That team had no answers for the defense.
That's true.
That would be concerning to me if I think my team is on the precipice of being a perennial playoff
Bro,
contender.
they just went to the to the Super Bowl last year, so they know they
Yeah,
can do it.
yeah. So what? The sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again. You know.
Okay,
I
but
mean,
Chris,
I'm
if
just
you
saying. I don't know. We'll see.
I know what
We'll
you're
see.
saying, but if the same argument can say that Super Bowl champs got Super Bowl hangover, the same thing can be said about the people that they played.
Maybe.
Because
Um.
they're going to be the same NFL. They get the same number of reps, the same number of plays. He didn't play like he wasn't the starting quarterback in the playoffs. So I mean, if we can't judge the MVP on the first game, then we can't judge whether or not a quarterback is going to rise to the top on the first game as well. That's my argument on that.
Um. But Trubisky is a how would I put it? A journeyman quarterback. He's never going to be your star quarterback. But as long as you can build a team around him and you can get the ball to and a good running core and a good O line, I think he can do it. I think he'd be
Damn, Willow
pretty good.
came in hot. He said Pat Mahomes is going to be the next Aaron Rodgers. He took the big contract, and Kansas is not going to keep the other stars there. Stars, they're going to be good, but not good enough. Hmm,
Mm,
we shall see. I
it's
think
not
Trubisky.
Kansas.
Go ahead.
It's, it's Missouri. Just want to make sure you guys realize it's Kansas City, Missouri, where the Kansas City Chiefs are at.
I think Trubisky. Um, I think he's going to be all right once him and Tomlin get on the same page. Like I said, he always had a good throwing arm. I think his problem was decision making, and maybe now that he got a quality coach, according to Anzo, one of the top 10 coaches in the NFL, and then there's been a lot of arguments with other people, other players, and other different sports. Well, do you have this kind of coach? You had this kind of coach. Well, you get one of the best coaches in the NFL. So if he goes there with an open mind and listen, and he already got a good skill set. I've
Hmm.
always heard Trubisky has one of the best arms in the NFL. Now, Mike Tomlin can let him slow down his progressions, his reads, and then make him make the best throw. Because I think right now he got three receivers that I just looked up: Claypool, um, a receiver named Miles Borkin, no, Deontay Johnson, Chris Claypool, and George Pickens are the top three receivers. So if he can work with them and get a good chemistry going, I think Pittsburgh could definitely make the playoffs. But they gotta be consistent. He got to be make better decisions than he has in the past when he was on Chicago.
I think he'll make it.
Yeah. Um.
And I also think that we need um like a really good wide receiver, someone that complements Claypool. If you get that and he stays on point, then we have a shot. But
Who do you
right
want?
now, fuck, I'll take Antonio Brown.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I'll take him back.
Hmm.
I'll
Hmm.
take him back. I don't hate it. Well, I think he's a claffy and a clown, but at the end of the day,
You don't think
he
he'd
can
mess up
play.
the locker room?
I don't know. He might. He might, but if it takes us to a championship, yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. But I don't think he'll ever be back in a football jersey anymore. I really
And I,
don't.
and I heard him speak. He doesn't speak well enough to be a commentator, so I don't know what he could do. So wasted talent.
Very
Yep.
wasted. Yeah, very
And
wasted.
last topic of the show, let's people in the chat have a question for us. Is Von Miller. Tell me, is Denver and doggone the Rams feel like kicking themselves in the ass down for letting this man go? Cause look like he got a chip on his shoulder. He playing better than he ever has played before. I'm not understanding why the Rams did not find enough money to bring this man back because he made them eat their words Sunday. I think he had like 6 sacks on the damn
Hmm.
quarterback.
Hmm.
So I don't
Who
understand.
did
I
they
don't.
play?
They
Buffalo.
played Buffalo.
Oh no, that's right. Oh yeah.
No, no, Chargers played the Buff. No, no, no. It was
No.
them. It was the
Oh
Buffalo
Rams.
no,
played
No,
it
the
no, it was
Rams.
the
was.
Rams.
Yeah, no, oh god.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I was on, I think it was Twitter, and I seen Rock had did, a
Yeah.
promo for the Queen dying, right? And he had on a Rams shirt, and I'm like, why the fuck is Rock wearing a Rams shirt? And then when the game started, he came out and he announced them and everything, and I was like, okay, so that's why he had on the Rams
Yep.
shirt, you know. But to be honest with you, yeah. Oh, hold on, guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and
Yeah,
say,
sorry.
man.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No, and I'm supposed to say, to be honest with you, when you have a defensive guy like that, you do what you can to keep them. But some of
Yes,
these franchises think that, well, you know what? We could probably do better, or maybe he's not as good as they think he is, and they don't want to pay him, or maybe paying him could have messed up something they plan to do in the future. So I don't know, but I think you at least try to work a deal with him.
I think that Darren Arnold might have felt threatened.
Maybe.
Like, hey, I'm the top dog. We can't have two alphas, and I sure would have. I would have made that work.
Mm-hmm.
If I was
Absolutely.
Aaron Donald, I would have made that work.
Absolutely. 100%.
Any thoughts on it, Chris?
Man, I hate. Okay, and when I say this, let me phrase this before I go too far. I hate Von Miller with a passion only because he is that fucking good. He was on Denver for years, and he's been the main of a lot of Kansas City games. It's like, and I mean, when I say that, I mean it lightheartedly. I don't hate the guy, but letting him go, you just want again. This kind of goes back to like this is the opposite of how I feel the Tyreek situation was. Everything I read, Von Miller wanted to stay. The Rams said, no, you were a rental player. We got you last year. Go. And they let him go. And now look where he ends up. It's not like Buffalo needs help. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, that guy right there, that defense with him on it.
He's the primary reason why they lost, buddy.
Well,
He's putting pressure on damn
yeah,
old boy ass.
but that's the thing. And then you get into that situation. Oh, you guys want to trade me or you guys want to let me go? Fine. Look at what I'm going to do to you.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever lined up Buffalo and the Rams in the first game, they got everything that they deserve because they showed. I mean, Von Miller, like you said, I think it's a chip on his shoulder. I don't think he's going to look like that every game, but Von Miller is still a complete football player on the defensive side. He's scary. He's quick. He's he's very smart about how he plays defense. So, yeah, I mean, I think that I think it was a stupid move to let him go.
I
I
agree.
mean, because if you have Von Miller and you have Donald, Sam,
He just got 33 years old. I thought he was
Yeah.
older than that.
no, he's got about 2-3 good more years probably.
He got 3 more good years in him.
Yeah, no, I mean, so when I say I hate him with a passion, it's because whenever he goes against us, man, that's a guy that that he's caused Kansas City a bunch of problems. I mean, he was on the last Super Bowl team that Denver had in his rookie year, if I remember right, 50. or
Yeah.
something like that. It's close to that.
I know
It was on the way.
he helped
Yeah.
old Peyton Manning get his second ring. He damn sure did.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He's a great player, man, and it just
Oh, I'm
proves it,
sorry.
right?
That was his 4th year.
Yeah,
But still,
I know it was rookie.
he was rookie of the year. He was Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 50. He's been All Pro at least 3 times. He's been second team All Pro probably 3 or 4 times. I think he's been to 8 Pro Bowls. I want to say he's won the Butkus Award at least once or twice. I mean, I don't know. This guy's got amazing stats. I mean, he's already. How long has he been in the league? Since 2011, did I say? So he's been in 11 years, and I think he's got at least 10 sacks a year. That's a beast. That's not Lawrence Taylor, but that's like Lawrence Taylor-esque.
Yep.
I mean, and so, it's a stupid. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. I mean, when I heard, and I'll be honest with you, when I heard Tyreek Hill was going out to Miami, my thought was, well, Jesus Christ, we could use him. I don't see how you let go of talent like that from the Rams' perspective.
It's confusing because when we see these trades, 'cause I'm telling you, I don't understand why in the hell the Raiders traded Khalil Mack. That was the dumbest shit
God,
ever. I still don't understand that to this day. And he made them pay for it last week too. From what Chicago went off on the Raiders. So these teams do some stupid stuff, man. So I don't understand it, but I guess they are more the expert than we are. So you just have to sit and talk about it. Basically, we're gonna hear our gentleman, man. It was a good show, man. We had good topics. Before we got to hear everybody on the panel shout out their channel. What's going on in the neck of the woods? Go ahead and start with Mr. Knight. What's going on with you, sir?
Well, not too much. I was out of town last weekend. Most of this week, I've been still dealing with that stuff. I think this week we'll be back to the normal shows. And on Thursday, I believe, is going to be the first of the. I can't remember if it's going to be Thursday or the next Thursday after that. I have to look on my schedule for the Rumble and also for Name That Tune. Check that out. Also, this Tuesday will be the first of Unmasking the Masked Singer for the next season. Getting that run. So we'll be putting out a lot more stuff. Not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'll figure it out. And then, of course, this fantasy, football, all that stuff. So,
all right. Anzo, what's going on in your neck of the woods, sir? Anzo.
JJ.
Sorry, I am Bigger Ford Entertainment. Like Chris said, we'll be back doing the weekly shows, which will be other than that, OOC. We'll be back with the tournament as well. I didn't do a tournament this week because I wanted to do a little video. And, bro, I didn't finish that video till 5 o'clock in the morning. So, but we'll be back We'll be back next week.
All right. And I'm your host, Andy Graham, aka Comment Chat. You can find me Monday through Wednesday on the Chaos Central channel. Monday night, my show is Chaotic Conversation. And Tuesdays is Anzo Chaos List. Wednesdays is Chris, which is the Rule of Three. Tomorrow, I will be doing She-Hulk Roundtable.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest, I must say I like this episode better than the last.
I don't know how. I don't. I don't get it, Danny.
I chuckled at this, Hanzo. I don't know why, but I chuckled at it. I was like, okay.
There was one chuckle in this when she called her Shrek. She's like, "Hey, nice suit, Shrek." That was the only chuckle.
But I don't know why I did. So it might get a reprieve. I'm still saying this show is very, very, very. It's whatever the word is below underwhelming. That's what this show is.
Doo-doo, caca. Total
I
trash.
ain't gonna. I can't say that word. I renounce from saying that word. I won't call anybody's creation trash or garbage. But it is. Whew, like I said, I don't know why, but I like this episode better than last week's had me like seeing red and. But I get a text from Shifty of all people saying, "Danny, you were right. This show is trash. This
What?
episode was. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I saved that DM, buddy. So, yep.
No,
When he
so
said,
momentary lapse of reason.
I couldn't
Got off the
believe it
drugs long enough to realize, huh?
because when he asked me when he said it, I said, "Are you fuck with me?" He's like, "Nope." So, but who's to say? Of course, every Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If we're not working or busy or out celebrating birthdays, we will be here on Square One with the usual suspects, which is myself, Chris Knight, Roberto, and Anzo, and we'll be trying to discuss interesting football topics. And until next week, y'all take it easy, and we will catch you later.